year, the year before. You're like, well, are they getting anybody or not? And then boom, yeah, it looks like they're for real. And then you can even say the same thing with Ole Miss. Well, they got this guy, they got that guy, and you're like, well, where is it? Because they're 6-5 and 7-4. What's going on? And okay, they're here. They finally arrived.
Right.
And I mean, it's kind of like a nice turnover. I mean, Alabama ain't quite what they were. Auburn's gonna be pretty good. LSU ain't what they were.
Alabama's not quite they were, or is other teams are better?
Both.
Because I think Alabama's
still good. I mean, they're not what they were 3 years ago, though.
Well, shoot, you can't win it every year.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, like I said, they're still pretty good. They're not quite. When you say not quite what they were, I was
about to say, they were talking about today. It was talking about today. It was like Alabama's on the decline. They're 40-5 in the last 45 games.
They'll decline to third and are loaded.
I know a lot of colleges that would love to be 40-5.
There's a lot of colleges that are gonna love to finish with what Alabama's record will be this year, even if they lose 2 or 3 games. I mean, look who they had to go through to lose those 2 or 3 games.
Right.
I was saying the same thing.
And that was in Ole Miss. I'm like, hey, come on, guys.
Yeah, that wasn't going to be an easy game. I mean, yes. I mean, on the flip side,
they should have rolled with Katy Perry, man. Katy Perry told them with the corn dog.
I mean,
that was hilarious, dude. I'm sorry. I was cracking up.
I got caught up today in a discussion with about the SEC East today, where somebody was saying South Carolina, they are what they thought we would be. They were saying they weren't really any good. And I was like, well, think about this. Hold on. Look at that schedule. They open with A&M. That ain't no easy game. They lost 3 games, and only one of those teams they lost to, you would say, okay, maybe Missouri's no good. But
no. I would have been more. I'm a little bit more upset about them losing to Kentucky. That was terrible.
Well, actually, no. Hold on about that. Kentucky's getting better. They're not going to win.
They shouldn't be better than South Carolina, though.
I don't know. Kentucky is getting better. I would say. I noticed that about 3-4 weeks ago. I was like, they're not going to win the East. But then again, neither is South Carolina.
But the point was, we didn't think Kentucky was going to even be in the conversation. So I'm saying either South Carolina is worse than what we thought.
Well, I mean, you say Kentucky, I say Missouri, but either way, I would say Kentucky is a 6 or 7 win team this year. Missouri, 6 or 7 wins. Take your pick. ECU's for real, and South Carolina beat them.
Yeah, but ECU ain't gonna beat no big thing. Hey.
But my point is, no matter if you're South Carolina, well, they're not gonna be no big. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I put it this way: I think they'll give about anybody trouble. I would accept people saying they suck more than I would say Alabama's on the decline. Because I'm like, dude. Well, again, sliding scale. I mean, when they say decline, they're like, Alabama. Well, you got a bunch of people who want to chant "the witch is dead." Okay.
Yeah.
But
my point is, if you put Alabama up again right now, I'm being for real, and I'm not even an Alabama fan. You know, I do not like Nick Saban. You know that. But if you put Alabama or Baylor right now, who will win that game?
Right. But of course, that's also saying that. Well, if you ask Bob Stoops that question, he's going to say Baylor. But
I'm just saying. I mean, right now, I would think Alabama would be at least a 3-point favorite, even if they were going to.
Well, then again, I don't know about for certain with that secondary, but I mean, I would like to think they would be Baylor, but at the same time,
Notre Dame. Yeah.
Well, what can we say about Notre Dame? Stanford didn't want it bad enough.
I
don't know what that was.
What's up with your Aggies, man?
I saw the game. Did you?
No, of course not.
I mean, we had to play with a true freshman. It was on the internet.
Yeah, ESPN3 along with the women's. along with the women's basketball.
Yeah, we won the Ocho
game. Yeah, the Ocho.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, all things considered, I mean, we played with a backup quarterback who didn't really know what he was doing yet. He might turn into something one day. He might not. I saw if you had seen us play like the Alabama A&M game or any of the other games, the guy that was starting, it didn't look like he was necessarily really all that good. I mean, he could really run, but he didn't necessarily have the best passing acumen you'd ever seen. But then now that he's not there, you see, oh man, they really do miss him. So, I mean, I'm not too surprised. South Carolina State, they got maybe two guys that could be in the NFL on their defense. We couldn't block one of those guys to save our life. We had a backup, true freshman quarterback who looked like a true freshman quarterback. And really, all things considered, like I said, I saw the game. South Carolina State ain't do nothing. They blocked a punt, and they had to put it in from 4 yards out, and they didn't do anything else for the rest of the game until like the last 4 minutes when our defense got tired. So, I mean,
it is, man.
That's all. I mean, yeah, it's a loss. It's slightly disappointing, but it wasn't really that big of a deal.
Man, a little tired. Yeah, but what are you about to say? You were about to say something.
Yeah, I was about to go back to you on Brady Hoke watch?
The who?
Brady Hoke watch. Hoke watch.
Oh, I ain't paying attention to that. They ain't gonna let it. They're not gonna fire him until the end of the season. They're not gonna do that.
Come on, man.
They're not gonna do that. Why would you subject anybody else to that craziness?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean they're not gonna do that. They already looking.
They looking
more. They looking more than your brother talking about looking for another coach to replace Mike Tomlin. What the heck you talking about? I'm like, no, they ain't looking.
Yeah, my answer to that was kind of flipping. Like, yeah, well, again, who doesn't get on the hot seat for losing the Jaguars? Cleveland fired a coach last year.
Yeah, he can be his seat can be on fire. He can be his butt could be sitting in a pile of coals, and he still ain't gonna get fired no time soon.
The only way he gets fired is if he goes like 3-something this year, and obviously they ain't gonna do that. So.
They're not going to fire him, Prev. The Steelers have had 3 coaches in the last 30 years.
40 years, yeah, I know.
Yeah, 40. I mean, come on, man. But anyway, the whole Michigan thing, I don't know why. Some stuff you just don't. It's nothing to talk about no more. It's like certain stuff to talk about. Yeah, no, it's funny, but it's not. I just wish Desmond Howard stopped trying to pick them every other week, trying to save face. It's okay, Des. You can pick against your alma mater, man, because they suck.
Yeah, look, if I was Desmond Howard, I'd pick him every week. What's the worst that could happen? You're gonna be wrong. You know that.
You're gonna be wrong. But my point is, go out there on a limb and be a man about it. Be like, look, we ain't doing well. It's over.
Hey, he's just being optimistic.
This is not Notre Dame versus Alabama. This is not Notre Dame when they played. You know what I'm saying? And everybody thought that, hey, maybe Notre Dame actually got a chance. You know, this is different. They suck. And people are still picking them. And then talk about, and it's still a big game coming down the line when Florida State, when they played Michigan. I'm like, what?
Huh?
Big game in the big house. That's about it. In the big house.
In the big house.
And I don't even like that term anymore. I've been watching too many Django movies. But anyway. I don't even like that no more, the big house. I saw 12 Years a Slave and Django.
He was on
I'm starting to get mad. I'm starting to get mad again. I was all right for a little bit.
I can't watch them back. I take them one at a time.
I'm starting to get mad again, man.
Yeah.
It's just,
that's
who's your MVP
so far?
At the quarter
Quarter MVP. Your boy gets DeMarco Murray.
I give him a second. I'm going with the old gunslinger coming back from the ashes, the Phoenix, Phillip Rivers.
Brett Favre.
Nah, Phillip Rivers. Remember, we thought Phillip Rivers might be done.
2 years ago,
like 1 year. What I'm saying, 1 year it was like okay. It was like they had 2 bad years in a row.
Years in a row, and the second one was really bad.
Yeah, so, last year he came back a little bit better, and then this year he's going absolutely bananas.
Yeah. And
I might give it to him. I give it to him. I think if I had to rank right now, I'll go Rivers 1, Murray 2. Just because of the expectations. Yeah, the Chargers made the playoffs, but we didn't expect them to jump out like this, like the, whatever. And then I go with my 3. You're gonna like this one with my number 3. Andrew Luck.
I was gonna say Luck.
And then I go with Peyton 4, Russell Wilson 5. It's my top 5.
I might go with Russell.
JJ Watt's right there too.
Russell at 4, Peyton at 5. Just yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, last night,
it up a little bit.
Hey, look, last night that little bully showed his tail.
Well, but like I said, man, I said it to my boy. He can be a bully and he can show his tail. Let's still pump your brakes just a tad bit.
Hey, you said quarter of the season.
No, I'm saying as far as that performance last night, everybody wants to all of a sudden put Russell Wilson in the stratosphere of like the greatest thing ever since sliced bread. Like we've never seen anything like this before. Like we don't, here's my 2 points about Russell Wilson. I'm going to say it like this. The kid is good. We knew he was going to be great. He may even be great, but we knew he was going to be good. I mean, he was a good quarterback in college, NC State and Wisconsin. Bottom line is, he's not doing anything that he's not supposed to do, people. He's supposed to get better. With a defense and a coach and a scheme like that, you're supposed to play well. You're supposed to run when you see man. The reason why he looks that much better is because you got the Geno Smiths of the world out here. The RG3 of the world out here. You got the Colin Kaepernicks of the world out here. You got the EJ Manuels of the world out here. Not doing what they're supposed to do. And it makes him look that much better.
Well, wait a minute. That goes both ways. Well, hold on. That does go both ways. Wait.
Okay.
That goes both ways. Wait. It goes both ways. Yes, he does look good compared to the EJ Manuels of the world. However, can you honestly say you really thought the EJ Manuels and the Geno Smiths of the world were going to do better?
No, that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm saying is we're sensationalizing the talent level. Nobody's saying that he's not good, but we want to go ahead and crown him like Denny Green because he happened to be the quarterback of one of the most dominant defenses in the league, and the Broncos defense didn't show up. I'm trying not to take credit away from him, but I'm not going to give him extra credit right now in the league before we start calling him elite. Can he get vested in the NFL first?
Well, I ain't say elite. I'm just saying he showed his tail last night.
But I'm saying is people are taking what your statement and they're taking it to another level of, oh my God, it's such a great, we've never seen this.
Okay.
Talking about Michael Vick. I wish Michael Vick could have been like him. And I think Russell Wilson want to be like Vick and get a $100 million contract. How about that first?
Yeah, right.
Then let Michael Vick want to be like Russell.
Well, the good news is that even if he doesn't get the $100 million contract for the Seahawks, I think his endorsements are going to get up there in the $100 million.
He's got commercials all day now, boy.
That's why he ain't got to worry. That's why he like Michael Jordan.
He all right. He's straight. But the kid, he's going. Like I said, I like him. I liked him when he came out. I was happy he got the job. I think we all was rooting for him. I think we all was like, man, I hope this kid go out there and blow it up. And guess what? He's blowing it up.
I mean, actually, if you want to talk about the development, to me, it is a little bit reminiscent of Tom Brady. Tom Brady didn't really. No, think about Tom Brady's first 2 years in the NFL as a starter. Weren't really a lot of big numbers. Strong.
Well, defense. I got a much better comparison to that.
I know. I'm just saying, strong for point of reference. Strong defense, dominant running game. Patriots are punching them out all day long in 2001, and 2002.
But you got a better reference than that. That's even more current. This guy out there in Pittsburgh named Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh yeah.
He ain't blow up. We didn't talk about Roethlisberger being anything close to an elite quarterback until he won the second Super Bowl.
Well,
those first 4 years, he rode the wave.
He rode the wave.
He rode that wave, which is perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. He didn't mess it up because, I told people, he didn't mess it up, and he got better.
Right, and the only difference is Russell Wilson actually isn't doing a ton. Last night was probably the biggest example of improvisation that you've seen out of Russell Wilson, where Ben Roethlisberger was an improviser from the start.
But why was that, Prev? Because he's smart. He's cerebral. That's the point. I'm looking at man defense. I'm looking at everybody run to the pylons. Nobody's looking at me. That man didn't even think for 2 seconds that, I can get 15 yards because these fools got their head turned. It was just terrible.
No, I thought it was fun to watch. I thought it was pretty good.
It was hilarious. He was playing with those dudes, man.
It was fun to watch.
And I'm with you. And I told people, I said, I think I put something up one time when it was, the whole Peyton Manning argument and all that stuff about him not being good in the playoffs and having a losing record. And I kind of said, yeah, but to have that many games, that means he made the playoffs a lot more than some of these teams. And when he got to the playoffs, he was facing good Charger teams, Tom Brady teams, and good Pittsburgh Steelers teams every single damn year. He might lose a few games. 20 quarterbacks in the league could have won the Super Bowl with that defense last year with Seattle. I say 20 because we know there's about 10 of them out there that were throwing about 5 picks. Killed.
I mean, the thing is, and you know what's funny? You mentioned I got into this debate with somebody a long time ago, back when Brady won that 3rd Super Bowl, and it was like, well, I don't like all these Montana comparisons. I was like, there's no comparison. You look at Tom Brady; he's in a sweet system that's catered to his capabilities. He's got a great team around him, and blah blah this and blah blah. I was like, that sounds vaguely like Joe Montana. Did Joe Montana ever have the 31st ranked defense?
No.
Was he ever carrying the 31st ranked defense?
No.
Did Joe Montana ever play on a team that couldn't run the ball at all?
No.
Did he ever get hit?
Dude, he had, and my point is,
you know who hit him?
He arguably had the best. He had their best football player in the game on his team too. Come on, man. That counts. That counts. That counts. Oh, yeah. And the coach finally got their act together the last couple of weeks. I don't know what defense going on with them.
Is the Colts defense?
They're not. They still can't get pressure on the quarterback. But what is the best kept secret about them?
The secondary.
For some reason, the secondary can play. I don't understand. They can cover people, man.
Yeah, they cover.
I told you. Yeah, he got the Dolphin uniform off him and all became good. Don't wait till he leaves the Dolphins to become good.
Like Wes Welker.
That was stupid. That was one of the that was one of the dumbest decisions I ever. I'm like, how do you get rid of a guy that's that cheap? He was cheap. Just sign him and make him play. I'm like, you just give up Wes Welker. Oh, we ain't gonna say. Don't get me started on that franchise.
We're not.
Could you imagine? Think about this for a second. I want you to really think about this for a second. They could have had Drew Brees and Wes Welker on that team.
I know.
You don't need. I mean, Drew Brees and Wes Welker. And oh, by the way, Ricky Williams would have been running the ball. I think Ricky might have even said, you know what? I'm gonna stop smoking the weed for Drew Brees. I'll stop for about 5 years, see if we can win a championship.
You brought up something. You're talking about, the bad quarterbacks. And I had to go on a rant yesterday. I was just typing an email to somebody, and because the whole conversation about after this latest meltdown in Carolina, the Jay Cutler, they're really regretting that contract
And I was like, guys still don't get it. Because, Lanice was on this, saying, the contract this, the contract that. And I'm like, okay, you paid a lot of money for a guy who's probably going to win a few more games than he loses. You might make the playoffs every once in a while. Overall, no, you're not going to win a Super Bowl with Jay Cutler. You probably will have a number of good games with Jay Cutler. Your team will probably compete more often than not with Jay Cutler, and that's about it.
Well, and more specifically, Jay Cutler on the Bears. You see what I'm saying? Because the Bears' defense is not what it was.
They're not going to.
They can't take mistakes like that. Yeah, they can't take mistakes like that.
But I'm going to put it in a vacuum, even if the defense was passable.
Nah, he could have won.
Here's the point.
He could have won.
Well, he's done the same thing when they did have a good defense. I know, because I saw it in the playoffs. But the point is, so what? You want to say he's a 60% quarterback? You want to say he's 30% less than Russell Wilson? Fine. You're going to pay, you mean to tell me it's perfectly acceptable to let that man walk out the door so you can get to the next Blaine Gabbert? I still fail to see the logic in that. I was like, you mean to tell me you would let him walk out the door for a chance at the next Blaine Gabbert? Have you seen these quarterbacks coming out of college? I mean, have you really looked at them? I mean, I know you have, but this is a question I ask people. Because what you see in college is fun to look at. Most of these guys ain't doing a thing in the NFL. And they're not going to. They're not prepped for the system. I mean, look at these dudes, man. You ask them to get up underneath center, and then you ask them to read a defense. He's still trying to read the guy's butt in front of him. Yeah. These kids, they haven't seen this sort of structure before. And then, the media says, well, you got to tailor the offense around the talent that's coming out of college. Okay, so really what you're telling me is you got to gut the guys that you do have that fit with the quarterback before. So not only are you setting yourself 3 years back with the quarterback, you're setting yourself 3 years back with the rest of the skill position. So what happened? Yep. That bad quarterback that came out of college doesn't develop either because he doesn't have the talent. Look at the Jets.
Mm-hmm. But I think the Jets,
you're looking at yet another bad quarterback because you don't want to pay to develop this dude.
Yeah, I think the Jets, though, I think that's a special situation. That's just a special. That's a very, very that's a very special, bad special.
Or then what would you think if Michael Vick wasn't the backup quarterback? Would it still be special bad?
It's terrible. It's what it is. It's terrible. I mean. You can't win. You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win. I don't know what. I mean, Dollar my dude, but I'm like, there's nobody on that team that scares you. Nobody on the offense scares you, and it's been like that. Think about it. Their best player, their best point was Braylon Edwards. Think about that. In the last 8 years, their best offensive player was Braylon Edwards.
You got me thinking, when did Curtis Martin retire?
That's what I'm saying. That's the last big weapon they had. Dustin Keller never panned out, got hurt. Sean, it's terrible. That is bad, man. That's bad. Maybe Mark Sanchez is better than what we thought. Because that is terrible.
You don't think?
Maybe Mark Sanchez is a lot better than what I was thinking. Because that team, I don't know. There's nobody that scares you on that team. Nobody.
I mean, no, but see, that goes back to the point. Everybody's saying you pick out you identify your Jay Cutlers, take your base mediocre quarterback that got paid whatever market value is, and that's the point I was trying to explain to Elise. Yes, mediocrity is defining market value because the basement is so low. You would rather invest in that mediocre quarterback for another 3 years, because that's all you're going to get out of him. You're not going to pay him for 5. You're going to pay him for 3, because your alternative is the next Blaine Gabbert.
But here's my thing about it though, and this is
Andrew Luck about once every 10 years. That's
right.
It.
Shoot, once every 10 years. Maybe once every 15, 20.
Yeah, get Andrew Luck, and then somebody gets lucky with Russell Wilson.
I can't name 12 quarterbacks. I mean, think about it. Would you take Cutler over Flacco? Yeah. Would you take Cutler over Austin Davis? Yeah.
Flacco was Cutler. As a matter of fact, what's his face did it this morning on the radio. You might have heard it on Mike and Mike. He did it this morning. He reeled off 16 names that he would take over Cutler. But really, 2 of those names I disagree with. It's just that simple.
But my point is, if he's hovering at 15, 16, then what? Then there's no discussion.
Just average, and I'd rather have one of the top 15 than one of the bottom 15, because those last.
Well, my point is, Prev,
really bad.
I can make an argument that he's better than average, because just because he fought to be the mean, I mean the median. I'm a statistical guy. That could be the median, not the mean. He could be better than average, but these guys back here are that much bad. They're that much worse. They're that terrible.
That's what I'm getting at.
If you got a bunch of if you got tens, you got 5 tens at the top. Brady, Manning, Breeze, Rodgers. Okay, then you put maybe Rivers at 9, and then you got this guy at 9. Maybe Romo's a 7, and these guys, and then maybe Cutler's actually a 6.5. But then there's a gap between Cutler and maybe Flacco. That's a 6.5 to a 4, and then you got the rest of them 3s and 2s and 1.
I'm going to just go back to the point you made. It's the statistical guy. Forget the middle 10. Look at how bad that last 10 is.
That's what I'm saying.
Look at how awful that last 10 is.
And you can put a combination of them. You can put the combination. You can say, okay, I'm going to take both Raider quarterbacks, both Texans quarterbacks.
And they still don't equal up to Jay Cutler.
I mean, yeah, both Jets quarterbacks. I mean, both Jaguar quarterbacks right now. I mean, what are we talking about? I mean, it's terrible. Hey, I'm not putting Ryan Tannehill over Jay Cutler. I'll take Jay Cutler any day of the week over Ryan Tannehill. Yeah, man.
Jay Cutler might be in Miami in 2 years. So
yeah, I hope so. Shoot, I'll take him. Damn it. I'll take his depressed looking ass. His depressed looking self. I told somebody, I said that game, if you couldn't have had 2 more depressed looking quarterbacks on the sideline, that was like the Depression Bowl. Because you got Cam Newton on the sideline looking pouting.
Pouting Cam.
And then you got Jay Cutler over there looking like he just did it.
That's the best thing about Jay Cutler. The best thing about Jay Cutler, because when he threw those touchdown passes against San Francisco, he on the sideline.
Just chilling. Like, whatever, man. I don't know.
All I do is throw touchdowns. Then even in the Carolina game, all I do is throw interceptions.
My bad. Sorry. Yeah. I'll catch y'all later.
Yeah.
All right.
What time's the meeting?
Speaking of that, I'm going to go ahead and hit this bed, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I got one of those not-so-fun teleconferences to look forward to at 7:30 on the dot.
Oh, you need to go later, bro.
Yeah. All right, then.
All right, y'all.